What is Jay-Z, the Knights Templar, Glastonbury Festival, Indiana Jones, and King Arthur all have in common? Well, it should be very obvious from the title of the video that all of them have talked a lot about or searched for the mysterious and ever-enchanting Holy Grail. Now, in this video, I'm going to give a few theories and a few of my own thoughts on what I think the Holy Grail is. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned and go on this Holy Grail hunt with me. Okay, before we go any further, let's get one thing straight. There are two very fundamental interpretations of the Holy Grail. One, that it is something literal, and two, that it's something metaphorical. So I'll explain further what I mean by that. Is that it is actually a tangible product that people can search for and find and hold in their hands is the literal definition of the Holy Grail. And Grail actually means cup or a vessel, or in more specifically, a chalice. And if anyone, pardon me if it's so obvious what it is, but in case you're unsure, it's a religious cup that in religious ceremonies, especially for Catholic people, it would be what is drank. It's wine in there with a little bit of water, and it's representative of the blood of Jesus. So the most obvious mainstream interpretation of what the Holy Grail is that it is exactly what it claims to be. The cup that Jesus used at the Last Supper. So whether people are religious or not, it should be fairly common for imagery to most people of a priest or a pastor holding up a gold, well, usually gold or brass or bronze cup with wine in it to represent Jesus's blood. So the Holy Grail may literally be the cup used at the Last Supper. And the Last Supper is when Jesus and his friends met in the famous Da Vinci painting. Side note, in that painting, isn't it strange how all 12 of them are on one side of the table? Anyways, I don't want to go on a tangent about Da Vinci. I have a ton of videos about him, by the way. But the Holy Grail, I think that it literally is that. I just take it at face value. But here are some other fascinating ideas of what it might be. So, if it is literally a tangible item, it might be the spear that stabbed Jesus. When Jesus was on the cross, he was stabbed by a Roman soldier and blood came out. Some people think the Holy Grail is literally the spear that pierced Jesus's side, or it's a separate cup that someone in the crowd collected Jesus's blood in a cup. So some people think that cup that collected Jesus's blood as he was on the cross is the same cup that was used in the Last Supper. Some other people think the cup that collected Jesus's blood after he was stabbed is a separate cup or grail than the one used at the Last Supper. And some people think the actual spear itself is the grail. So I hope it's not confusing, but in a metaphorical sense, the grail might literally be nothing and just if anyone knows Don Quixote, a quixotic quest, when I'm not exactly sure what I'm looking for, but I know it's really important and I want honor by trying to find it, but there might not be proverbial gold at the end of the rainbow. That might be the most powerful messaging of the Holy Grail. But I'll give a few more theories on what it might be, because that's always the fun part. You throw wild things out there and you need no proof. That's a real historian of me. Just kidding. But this is just kind of for fun. Some people think the Holy Grail is the secret that Jesus actually got married to Mary Magdalene and Jesus may have a child and the lineage. And I know that that gets into all those Dan Brown books and the Knights Templar and Rosalind Chapel, etc. For those of you who want to know more, the Da Vinci Code book and movie about 15 years ago seemed like the most popular thing since sliced bread. Other things that it might be are something about similar to the Dead Sea Scrolls, how by the way, most scholars didn't even know those existed. In the 1940s, when those were found, it was an astonishing revelation. So some people think the Holy Grail is a document that predates when the Gospels were written, that has either secrets or further information about who Jesus was, which that would be the best case scenario, that we would find out more, because I love when scholars find new first-hand accounts of things that happened in the past, because of that era, there's all too few of them. Whatever people think about the Holy Grail, whether in a literal or a metaphorical sense, hopefully this video has helped your imagination wander a bit and think, wow, what could it be? And hopefully the takeaway that well, any takeaway you get from this video is always appreciated, but the takeaway that I get as I'm making the video is, whether the Holy Grail actually is real or not, it sure has captured the public's imagination. Even if people don't think about it from a religious standpoint or a hunting for something standpoint, you might be surprised to know how frequently it's used in everyday parlance. For example, some people might say the cure to cancer is the holy grail of medicine, or having an undefeated season is the holy grail of football or any other sport, or finding buried treasure on Oak Island is the holy grail of an explorer's quest. I can remember reading an article about when Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay climbed Mount Everest, and there's a rumor that as they were climbing, they said, "This is the holy grail of adventurers, and we might have a chance to find it." So, forgetting about all the fascinating theories of what the Holy Grail might be, remember, any great quest that you want to go on that means so much to you, that can be your own Holy Grail. And I wish you the best in finding it, because searching for something is the actual fun part. When you find it, it's great, but not to get too metaphorical and philosophical here, but the journey is what it's all about. I'm enjoying my journey of making YouTube videos. I hope you're going on a journey of watching every single one of my videos. Just kidding, but not really. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.